We've got to break the cycle of retribution. In the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination, the nation stands at a precipice. The path of least resistance leads downward into a retaliatory spiral where violence begets more violence. The "this is more" mentality is not a metaphor, it is a prescription for national self destruction. Research on political violence shows that assassinations often create a process of escalation, encouraging extremists on the opposing side to feel the need to retaliate. Utah Governor Spencer Cox, speaking with heartbreak after the murder in his state, articulated the choice. We can return violence with fire and violence. We can return hate with hate. At some point, we have to find an off ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. And I think that is a very good statement, to just basically saying that it has to end somewhere. And who's going to take the first step to ending this violence? Honoring the life lost requires a conscious, collective decision to seek that off ramp, to break the cycle of retribution before it metastasizes even further. When we look at strategies for a more civil society, from individual actions to systemic reform, the challenge of depolarization is immense, but it's not unsurmountable. A growing body of research points towards concrete strategies that can reduce animosity, promote civil discourse, and build resilience against political violence. These solutions operate at multiple levels, from individual interactions to systemic reforms. Interpersonal strategies, and that is the foundation of de-escalation, is rehumanization. The contact hypothesis suggests that meaningful, sustained contact between members of opposing groups can reduce prejudice, especially when it involves a genuine exchange of ideas between individuals of similar social rank. This can be facilitated through structured dialogue programs and by emphasizing shared values and the surprising amount of common ground that exists on major policy issues, correcting the misperceptions that fuel effective polarization. This could also be encouraging perspective taking. This act of trying to see the world through another's eyes has been shown to be a powerful tool for increasing empathy and reducing malicious beliefs about disliked groups. Now let's take a look at something known as rhetorical hygiene. Political and media leaders bear a special responsibility to model responsible discourse. One of the most effective ways to shift group norms is for leaders to criticize extremism and hateful language within their own party. This signals what is unacceptable to their own followers as a way that attacks on the other side cannot. It is also critical to avoid dehumanizing language and jokes, which research shows can remove inhibitions to violence and stop repeating information, even for the purpose of debunking it, as a repetition can inadvertently reinforce the false claims. Now, when it comes to media and information literacy, in an era of rampant disinformation, building societal resilience is paramount. This requires a two-pronged approach. First, social media companies must be held more accountable for the algorithms that amplify outrage and the spread of harmful content on their platforms. Second, citizens must be equipped with the tools of media literacy to recognize misinformation, manipulative rhetoric, and online radicalization pipelines. Training people to spot fake news and the activity of internet bots is more likely effective long-term strategy than simply trying to eliminate the bots themselves. Now, when we look at structural reforms, of course, while individuals and rhetorical changes are vital, lasting depolarization may require changes to the political structures that incentivize division. Ideas like citizens' assemblies, where representatives of groups of citizens are brought together to deliberate on different policy. This has shown promise in fostering compromise. Other proposals, such as moving towards more proportional voting systems, could reduce the zero-sum nature of winner-takes-all politics that exacerbates the us versus them mentality. As we take a look, of course, once again, I would like to mention that in the wake of the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk, a stark reality has been laid bare. The urgent need for proactive, accessible public information, education, and awareness on the warning signs of radicalization and the strategies for violence prevention.